beer. I like it ice cold. I take it with a lime. Canadian, Mexican, Heineken, American, they're all real good friends of mine.
Hey guys, DoseCoachDose.com. I'm here, like I said, I just try to grab the best in the business. Bam! That's how we do it. Martin Rooney, thanks for being here, man.
Great to be here.
Martin's got my boy Luca's gym right there, the Vigor Strong shirt. I got one that's a great shirt, by the way. It's actually a really nice shirt.
I put this on and now I'm trying to show him that I'm wearing it. He's not here, but now he'll see it online, and I got proof.
And now
so
you
Luca,
actually feel stronger. I actually feel stronger in that shirt, I think, right now. But you guys that have been around training, conditioning at all, know Martin's been in the game for a long time. When did you start in the game?
So 1995, I was on the U.S. bobsled team, living at the Olympic Training Center, and that was after a track and field career, but that was what really got me involved in the fitness industry for sure.
Well, one of the things that I've had the opportunity to come to these things before, speaking at them, and that's the great part about me. Like I'm like a kid in a candy store with these things, and I'm sure you're the same way with guys at Costco and Boyle. These guys, these are people that we learn from, and we get better at our craft at doing it. And I've learned a lot from Martin over the years. Just the fact that I know how to do a push-up 1,000 different ways now.
Well, hey, it's absolutely true what Dose is saying, that, hey, I can remember being a kid and coming up and coming to these things, and it's an honor to be able to present alongside of everybody. Awesome. And not only that, but to have people come out and be able to talk to us is really amazing. But definitely, I've pulled so many things from everybody too, where I always say this, hey, remember guys, nobody invented anything. Like, I'd love to believe I invented push-ups. I didn't. I'm just the messenger here, getting some of that information out. But it's, like I said, it's been my pleasure to be able to do that for people.
It's awesome, and I think you've got such a huge audience. You've got a really big following now with the Training for Warriors, and that was the first thing with the martial arts conditioning book. I mean, first of all, it's one of the most beautiful books ever written. It's amazing. I'm just looking at it going, my book for rodeo just sucks compared to this. But now you've got another book. So what's going on with the new? How's the new book doing?
So new book is called Warrior Cardio, and it's what I was noticing was with the Training for Warriors, which was exploding, a lot of people were still scared of it because they would say, oh, I'm not a fighter, or I don't train fighters, so it's not for me. And I wanted to be able to bridge the gap a little bit back to fitness and mainstream. And so it still encompasses the Training for Warriors concept in there, where the ability, and a lot of the things that you preach all the time too, that the ability to get a workout that can be cardiovascularly demanding but also still build strength.
Right.
And
with the time factor, most people time that's
for sure. People don't have a lot of time, but ultimately, what do people really want? They want to lose fat, they want to build muscle.
Exactly.
And yet either we're banging our heads with just the same dumbbell workouts, or they're out running 20 miles. And neither one of those, I think, solves the solution like that. And that was where I wanted to put a book together that at least gave some rules, because what I've noticed, and I know you've seen this, there's a lot of people out there right now with metabolic training that the session is just a beatdown. There are no rules or regulations. It's just
I think that's how a lot of people gauge the effectiveness of a workout, right?
By soreness.
By just like, I'm just going to just hammer you.
Yeah,
we don't care about work rest periods. We don't care about, science essentially.
And that's where, hey, Dose and myself and a lot of other people out there, what we're trying to do is pioneer it right now, where I think metabolic training is still in the Stone Age, where if you look at strength training, I think people really understand reps, sets, tempo, rest periods, really understanding different lifts and everything else. But if you take metabolic training, for the most part, it is wipe people out, throw up in a garbage can, and you leave, and you can't sit on a toilet for 5 days, and you feel like you did something good.
Exactly.
And what people are forgetting is they really want to get results, and that's not the way to do it, and that's what we're trying to pioneer.
Right. And you've been in the game long enough. I've been doing this for a long time. It's easy to make somebody puke, right? I mean, that's the whole thing, is that some people gauge that, oh my God, that made me nauseous, that workout, it made me want to puke in 10 minutes. And the reality is, a good workout doesn't necessarily, you might get an accumulative effect at the end of the workout where you feel spent, which
fatigue and soreness are okay, but that's not what I seek.
Right,
and
that's not the gauge.
Yeah, and ultimately, but the no pain, no gain concept has been around for so long that I think it becomes very difficult to undo that in a lot of people's minds.
Yeah.
But I will say that that is, you don't have to do that to be able to achieve results, and that's what I'm going to try to present on tomorrow, is just, hey, I'm going to show people that we can get an effective workout, because exactly like you said, hey, anybody can make somebody tired, anybody can make somebody sick, but I'll say this, then I ask people, hey, are you consistently getting results with every one of your clients? Is every one of your clients clients losing fat? Is every one of your clients gaining muscle? Is every one of your clients achieving the athletic goals that they wanted? And then most of the time the answer is no. So if the answer is no, but you're making everybody sick, then maybe making everybody sick isn't the answer.
Absolutely. And I always tell like people all the time, like, because the internet's amazing, it's a great resource, but at the same time, it's a dangerous tool. When I start talking about, I go to, you have to have a filter when you get on the internet, right? You got to decide who's legit and who's not. Like when you're talking about training athletes, you're training athletes all day long. You have general clientele. I mean, like, these are the proofs in the pudding, essentially. Whereas you're not just going to be like, hey, I'm going to make up a program, put it online, and try to create that internet presence. So
one of the things I pride myself on, and I'm glad you mentioned that, is hey, not only do I train myself, but I train people. Like so what I like to say all the time is I say I live in reality. Where I've got. And not only that, but hey, I've got real people. And guys, I cut my teeth to housewives and young kids for a decade, killing myself 20 hours every 2 days training, 10 hours a day training people. And now I live in a world where hundredths of a second can mean millions of dollars. So in a weird way, that's even made the training become more precise. Like I can't fool around. I can't take a UFC fighter or an NFL guy and just crush him because that's not going to produce.
Absolutely. I think Alan Cosgrove said before, like, talk to guys whose livelihood depends on how good they are, because if you're shitty at doing what you do with an MMA guy and you can't get him in shape, or you can't get this sprinter in shape, they're going to go to somebody else.
Well, or they don't get results, and then they're not. Yeah, right. You haven't done your job.
You have that effect of them being shitty.
So ultimately, hey, I will say that hey, like you said, everybody's got to use a filter. The internet is one of the greatest information highways. What we have access to is amazing. Because hey, I can remember I was in this before there was an internet.
Exactly.
Man, I remember a book. Like, you couldn't get your hands on books. Like, it was almost like that. It was like gold if
hard
you got
to
this
find.
great
Like, I talk about like getting Vern Gambetta stuff and all that kind of stuff back in the days, right?
Like, the history of East German text that would be translated, or hey, here's a Russian document that came across.
Yeah,
man,
and it's like contraband. You got to find it.
Now it's anywhere and everywhere.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't mean that it's bad either, because now people have an opportunity to get more information.
It's the best thing, and it could be the worst thing potentially.
So hey, ultimately, what we want to do in our job is to not confuse people, but to clear things up so everybody can do things better.
Absolutely. What I like to do when I grab guys like you or Gray or Boyle, Cosgrove, you guys to say, if you have like any, like, a lot of people are getting into the field and trying to decide what they want to do. Any tips for somebody just getting out of maybe grad school, undergrad or grad school, and trying to get into this field? Any
tips?
Advice?
Yeah, for sure. Well, my first piece of advice, what I would say is, number one, go with your gut or go with your heart. Like, what is it that you love to do, and try to be the best in the world in that. I think unfortunately society tries to hammer the square peg into the round hole. Like, hey, I was an orthopedic therapist, and it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with orthopedic therapy, but everybody told me that's what I should do.
Right.
And it wasn't what I loved doing, and it took me years to get out of that. And I really found what I loved again by getting back into the trenches and training and being around athletes, and that's what I wanted to do. But it seemed like society, everybody around me didn't want me to do that. So what I would say is go for what you love, and my best advice would be, you never work a day in your life when you're really doing what you love to do. Like, I don't work. Like, I do what I love doing. I love writing, I love presenting, I love training, and that's what I get to do all the time. So if you can figure out how to engineer your day around the things you love, you'll become great, and if you become great, you'll get paid for it. And that would be my biggest piece of advice, where I think most people, unfortunately, they chase the money first, but they forgot the part about being great.
Exactly.
And man, you got to get great at what you do. And maybe another piece of advice too would be, hey, it's not just about what you know, it's about what kind of coach you are. And there are not a lot of great books on coaching. There's not a lot of great resources on that.
It really is an art.
And not only that, I'll throw this challenge out there. I could say, hey, name the top 10 basketball players of all time. Man, you could rattle that. Name the top 10 baseball players of all time. And everybody'd have their list.
Right.
Now, name the top 10 coaches, or the top 20 coaches. And people, Lombardi, I heard that Wooden guy, Phil Jackson, and then all of a sudden, like, man, that list is really small. That's why we build statues to him. So if you want to be great, hey, what's the moniker that comes before his name all the time? Coach. And that means he's doing a great job. That's probably the most important word, or biggest honor I think you can get, that we don't always take advantage of.
Absolutely. It's a great honor for me to do what I do every day, and same for you, I'm sure. Hey, man. Hey, Martin, thanks for being with us. I'm telling you, man, you got a great energy, man. I love your stuff. Hey, go get his book. It's awesome. Bye, man. Thanks, brother. You're awesome, dude.